So the primary thing now is a email from Hunter Biden that says he was sitting next to his father, who was out of office at the time, 2017, and a Chinese guy better pay Hunter Biden money because his father's sitting next to me. Okay, you know the tape. You heard it a million times. I don't have to go through it again. So, of course, some reporters asked Corinne JeanPierre about it. Go.
Corinne, have you spoken to the president about this? Have you asked him whether he was there with his son on July 30th?
This is not a conversation that I've had with the president. Again, I would refer you to the White House counsel.
Do you plan to have that conversation with the president?
No.
No. Why would I ask him about that? It's in news everywhere. It's a huge development, but can't be bothered asking him because she was told not to ask him. It's really, really crazy. So there's a whistleblower, you know this, a guy named Gary Shapley, IRS guy, former guy. Okay, he's not in the IRS any longer. He is telling the House Ways and Means Committee that he has 6 more people that will testify in front of the House Ways and Means who will say that Merrick Garland put the fix in on the Hunter Biden case. Okay, talk is cheap, but this guy Shapley, the original whistleblower, names the 6. And we'll see if they show up and testify. It's closing in on the Bidens here. But not everybody thinks it is. So, you know Doug Schoen, he's been on the broadcast many times, one of the smartest political guys in the country, he writes a column. GOP should resist the urge to go overboard on Hunter Biden. Public knows they just want payback. That's the title of the column. All right, Doug. You and I agree often. Not here. I think the walls are closing in.
You just said on News Nation that they've gone 50% of the way and they have a big 50% to go. I don't disagree with that. My point in writing the column, Bill, was to say if this becomes the basis for the GOP campaign, rather than, as you were saying before, inflation, cost of living, and the like, this could be a very frustrating initiative for the Republicans. So far, they don't have the goods.
Okay, that's fine, but if Joe Biden is linked to his son Hunter in a financial way, it is over for the Democratic Party. And that's where this is going.
It's not there yet, and we haven't gotten there. And again, the Bidens have been very, very clever in keeping together, not letting any information slip, and given an FBI that has lost public confidence and a Justice Department similarly, I'm not convinced that we are going to get where you think it is certainly possible we could end up.
All right, well, nobody's convinced. You can't be convinced. I mean,
I think Comer is.
It's what?
Comer and Jim Jordan are convinced.
Well, they're putting on their game face, that's for sure. But I'm talking about the folks. You've got to sit back. But listen, you know, you're a Democrat. You know the Democratic Party chieftains are very worried about this. Very worried, okay? Because it could all come apart very quickly. Merrick Garland is done, okay? He's finished. Because the 6 that are going to come in to the Ways and Means Committee are all going to say the same thing. Merrick Garland didn't want to know the truth about what Hunter Biden was doing. He's done. Garland never come back from that. They may impeach him in the House. Not going to be convicted in the Senate, but forget about it, Merrick. You're going to go down like John Mitchell went down. Maybe not to prison like Mitchell did, but you're done. The second thing is that Joe Biden himself is an unpopular president. And all of this brewing scandal that he may have taken bribes, and I use the word may allegedly, because that's the fair way to handle it, just making him look weaker, correct?
It does make him look weaker, Bill. Let's wait and see the 6 new whistleblowers and what they say. But I remember, Bill, you go back to John Mitchell. I remember the Democrats in 72. George McGovern ran on Watergate. Watergate ultimately brought down Richard Nixon, and it was a big 0 in the 72 campaign.
Yeah, that's a good point, but it's not the same now because the media is so partisan and the conservative media is driving this thing like crazy. Now, there are a couple of other things that we need to tie up here. First of all, the special counsel, do you agree with me, has a much harder time charging Trump in January 6th after this Senate committee report?
Yes, I do. I don't believe they're going to go and hold Trump accountable for January 6th. I've always felt, could be wrong, Bill, that they're going to go after him for obstructing the work of Congress in certifying the results. I don't think the January 6th insurrection will be the cause of criminal charges.
Okay, so you believe that the phony electorates that
Correct.
tried to come in and say, no, we're with Trump and all that, but you're going to have to show that Trump ordered that, which is not going to be easy to show.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
So to me, it's just the documents at this point, and now we're into December where they'll start that case, and nobody knows. Again, I'm not trying a case on TV. I want to see what happens. So last question for you is this. I agree with you that the Republican Party, not only for the presidency, but they got to take the Senate and keep the House if they want real power in 24. And you have to run on Joe Biden and the Democratic Party's deficits, that they've just screwed everything up. And that if you get diverted by Hunter Biden, you're going to be less, the message will be diluted. That was your column, and it's valid. But I think you're underestimating the danger to Joe Biden's presidency from this money stuff. I think he's in trouble. Last word.
Bill, if you're right, and it's a big if, it will be a serious problem for Joe Biden and the Democrats. My point in writing the column was so far we're not there, and there are so many, as you suggested, big issues that the American people care about. Inflation, gas prices, cost of living. My advice to the Republicans is let the Hunter Biden stuff play out as it will and focus on what voters themselves are focused on.
All right, Doug, always great to see you. Thanks for the good debate, and have a good summer. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. If booking your timeshare has been difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible lately. Most clients are shocked to learn that their timeshare is now available to the public, severely limiting booking options. Many owners are upset their yearly dues have nearly doubled during this maintenance fee season. For well over a decade, this family-owned company has had the pleasure of helping more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare fees. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and more than 900 five-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. So please call my friends today for a free no-obligation consultation at 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. Church attendance Gallup poll, cratering, May 2023, 31% of Americans say they attended church in the last 7 days. 69% no. That's about right. Maybe 28% of Americans go to weekly services of all religions. Catholicism is a disaster. I wrote the message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com. That's different than the column. And by the way, you can access all of the stuff on BillO'Reilly.com. You don't have to be a premium or concierge member to do that. The concierge and premium members get far more stuff. But my point in the message of the day today, Tuesday, is that organized religion has no answer. I mean, I was at 10:30 Mass on Sunday, premier Mass, okay? 5 Saturday, 10:30 Sunday, the two most well attended. 20% of the church is full. African priest, couldn't understand a word he said in the homily. I couldn't understand one word he said. I mean, little kids would go, and this isn't unusual. So there's no answer on the part of the religions. So now we're France and Britain. Godless countries, secular countries. That's what they are. Killing the witches addresses this directly. We'll get to that in a moment. Smart life. The average debt of Americans, $55,000. Okay? So you're in the hole $55,000. And it's not a good place to be. Credit card, mortgages, car loans, medical debts have got you $55,000 down. That's the average. Only 17% of Americans have no debt. So if you have 55 grand in debt, what do? The smart play in smart life is this: consolidate your debt. So bring it all in to 1 or 2 payments. Then negotiate with the people you owe money to. Maybe you'll have to get a loan to pay off your credit card if you can. So the credit card VIG is 17%. The loan you would get from your local bank would be 6%, 7%. Take that loan, pay your credit card, and you're up 11%. You see what I mean? You've got to isolate your debt. See where it is if you want to get out of the hole. Now, a lot of Americans don't. They don't go, I owe money, so what? What are you going to do to me? Okay. You want to be a slave the rest of your life? Run up the debt. You got no independence. Things go bad, you're screwed. Okay? So you got to be smart, got to look, get a calculator, whatever it may be, but get that debt right in front of your eyes. And then discipline yourself, cut down. Pay that debt down as fast as you can. Hey, you would be crazy not to use AMAC's Medicare Advisory Service if you're 65 or over. AMAC's Medicare Advisory Service is the conservative alternative to radical left companies like AARP. They offer free consultations with qualified Medicare experts who can answer all your Medicare questions, and I'm sure you have plenty. Even if you're already on Medicare, contact AMAC to see if you are overpaying for your current plan. There's no cost, no obligation to change plans, and no radical left agenda. Do business with people who have the same values you do, people you can trust. Forget the TV commercials and mailings advertising Medicare services. Go with a company that not only offers you dozens of Medicare choices, but also looks out for your interests without the woke nonsense. So please visit AMAC's Medicare Advisory Service at amac.us/trust. That's amac.us/TRUST trust. Okay, final thought of the day. As you know, we have concierge membership to BillO'Reilly.com. Costs a little bit more, but not a lot more than premium membership. And one of the most common questions I'm getting is about wills, bequeaths, leaving stuff to family and friends. Each person is different. All right. And when you send me a question as a concierge member, I ask for information, you give it to me, and it's all private. Everything concierge is private. And then I say, this is what I would do. But it's complicated, this will stuff, and you got to have one. If you don't have one, the state's going to come in and just rip up whatever assets you have and take it. So got to have a will. Ironclad will. You need an attorney for that. Anyway, here's my overall philosophy about leaving my stuff to people. Number one, the people that are getting the stuff after I die have to be of high caliber. I make that determination. I have to see how they're living their lives. And they have to be living them in a positive way, helping other people. That's far and away the most important thing. If you have a child or a grandchild or whatever, and that person is troubled and they're hurting other people, do not enable that with money. Do not. Secondly, got to be fair. You can hurt people by leaving them too much, okay? And younger people in particular. So you want them to have a very good work ethic and earn what they have. So I ladder stuff, all right? It's complicated, but you can do it, all right? So at this age, they get this. At that age, they get that. And the third thing is charity. So my foundation, the Winifred and William O'Reilly Foundation, which is up and running now, will be, after I die, in perpetuity. There's a board of directors, and I have allotted money to keep that charity going. All right? That's my legacy. So I wanted to go. So there are some tips in the final thought of the day. If you have any specific questions, you got to be concierge members, because I can't get hundreds and hundreds of people asking me stuff. But if you're a concierge, I'm happy to analyze your situation for you. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.